Hey guys, so I am in the studio. It's kind of overcast outside and I'm in here working on some larger paintings. But I thought I would just record my thoughts about the last 6 months of plein air painting. Yeah, I've been getting out usually about 2 or 3 times a week over the last 6 months. And the first thing I would say about it is I think it's good for your mental health. It's like too much studio time for me is not, I could burn out on that, whereas I don't seem to have any capacity for burning out on outdoor painting or, plein air painting. I could do that every day. I mean, it does get more exhausting in a way, especially if it's, if you're out painting in cold weather or super windy or something like that, but I never lack inspiration. I'm always inspired to go out, whereas in the studio sometimes it takes a little discipline to get moving. So the other thing I really like about it is that I meet people. I've met a lot of really cool people and had some really nice conversations, and even I guess it was 2 weeks ago, I had like a nonstop visitors while I was out doing this seascape, and it was kind of a gray day and the painting really wasn't working out too well. But I had one guy come up, he talked to me for about a half hour, and then this couple came up and talked to them for about a half hour or so about whales. They pointed out that some whales were going by, and so anyway, and then another couple came by too. So I just spent that whole painting, I was talking the whole time. And I think once people saw it, like, oh yeah, that painter, he'll talk to anyone. There's like, then they come up and talk to you. But I feel like somebody once said, like, when you're out plein air painting, you're like an ambassador for the arts. You're kind of, and everybody, everybody's creative. That's the thing you realize, whether they're actively working on creative things or not. I think that's just something that's a human quality that we like to create, or we're fascinated by it. And it may manifest itself in different ways, whether it's could be cooking, or it could be quilting, or whatever, knitting, woodworking. I mean, there's countless ways, obviously, but it does seem like most people are fascinated and do enjoy coming up and kind of seeing what I'm up to. So I really do like that, meeting people. And the other big advantage is, especially around the ocean, I've noticed that oftentimes I'll take pictures thinking, oh, I can finish this when I get home, or it'll be the end of the day and there'll just be this fleeting moment where the light is just amazing. So I'll take either a video or photograph of that to try to, work from it in the studio. And it just never even comes close to capturing the subtle colors and just that delicate light of that time of day. Even when it's not the end of the day, when it's just like midday or whatever, and especially I've noticed in water, there's all these subtle colors. It's almost like, the water's got its color of, out here it's like typically like sort of a blue green, but then along the surface on the top of that are all these blue reflections from the sky. And those subtleties are just really hard to see in a photograph. So I really enjoy being there and looking. I'm always overwhelmed at the color. It's just amazing. So that's another advantage of being out there is just, seeing that color. And the other thing I've said before is that when you're confronted with, like, when you're standing in front of, say, the ocean or any particular scene outdoors, there's this, it's just much more inspiring to work from. You can pull elements from outside of the picture frame. When you're working from a photograph, you've just got whatever's on the photo is what you've got. And it doesn't change. A lot of times what I'll do as light starts changing, I'll start incorporating some of those elements into the painting. So, you've got this constantly changing scenery, which can be challenging. And it can be frustrating, but I feel like it almost pushes me sometimes to work harder and to work faster. And a lot of times if I see something that's so beautiful in front of me, it kind of I realize the limitation of paint, and it often, out of frustration, make me just maybe paint more aggressively, or mix brighter colors or just experiment, just kind of grasping at straws, trying to figure out how can I'm not capturing this energy, or I'm not capturing the color, I'm not capturing the feel, and that frustration will just push you to kind of just continue to experiment till you get, till you capture some of that in your painting. So I think that's probably it. I mean, I think that's enough. So I just wanted to reflect on my experiences lately plein air painting. I think that's it. Oh, the one good thing, for a while there, I felt like, my plein air paintings were just for fun, and I didn't usually show them in galleries, especially my city paintings, because I just didn't feel like I had a handle on, composition, and there was so much information. It just seemed like my city paintings weren't coming out, they weren't like studio quality, I didn't think. I mean, gallery quality. But over the last 6 months, that's changed, and so I've been putting, in fact, in a recent show, I think almost all of the paintings were plein air paintings, which that's a first for me. So they're starting to come out better than the paintings that I do, particularly landscape paintings, I think come out better, like my seascapes and that sort of thing, come out better when I'm on location. But now my city paintings, some of my smaller city paintings are starting to, I think, be better than my smaller studio paintings. So I'm excited about that. I think one thing to remember when you first go out, or when you do go out and you paint on location, is to be patient, because I think your first paintings when you go out they're not going to be so good. At least in my case, they weren't. It was like almost like I took a step down. Like I felt like, do I even know what I'm doing here? Do I even know how to paint? My paintings looked terrible for a while there. Anyway, so you got to just rough it through that period, and just kind of, I'd say the attitude to approach it is like, okay, these paintings don't count. This is just for fun. This is going to be a learning experience, and don't judge. Don't judge the paintings. Just, if they're terrible, try to have a laugh about it. That's what I try to do. Like, and it still happens. I still do paintings where I think, what was going on here? It happens less and less, though, the more I'm out there. So the other thing, too, is if you start experimenting with compositions that are outside of your comfort zone, then you're going to also have some struggles there. So expect failures, or paintings, not failures, but paintings that don't work out when you're trying new compositions or new ideas. And I think that's important to do that, constantly be growing and experimenting. So anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments. And also, I've started a Patreon page. Link is down in the description if you'd like to help support this channel. And I've got some like Patreon only videos on there, like, behind the scenes, some sort of studio talk stuff or whatever. So anyway, but I will see you in the next video, which will be a plein air adventure this Sunday. So until then, take care. See you soon.